Hey, my beauties, my wonderful, wonderful lovelies, a pleasant afternoon to you. You know, the thing with the Immaculate student has really and truly disrupted, I wouldn't say my equilibrium, but it bothers me, to be honest with you. Bothered, and it still continues to bother me. Somebody pointed out to me the Sunday Glean. I don't know why I said, boy, there's nothing really to talk about, and I should have bought it this Sunday. But anyhow, and I'm looking at guest columnist, Dennis Minot. And the caption says, putrid wounds afflicting Ministry of Education, meaning unpleasant, an unpleasant situation. When it says putrid, it's talking usually, it refers to like an unpleasant smell, horrible. So, you know, so it's really almost debilitating, unpleasant wounds afflicting Ministry of Education. And he says, in recent years, actions by schools like Immaculate Conception High, Westwood High School and Titchfield High School, the all good schools, have caused significant harm to some of Jamaica's brightest female students. What is most disheartening, however, is the Ministry of Education and Youth, MOEY, continued complacency in allowing these institutions to enforce draconian measures that run contrary to the spirit of enlightened national educational policies. All right, so I think as school administrators or institutions, you've forgotten the basic rule or the basic foundation of any institution. All right, so we understand that there is a precursor to enter the high school system. So in other words, some people start at the basic school level or kindergarten, and then you go to prep or primary school. So you're taught the basic phonics, learning how to read and write. So you're not a blank slate entering the high school system. And we do accept that. And then, so it's like moving from the basic level to the intermediary level, which I call the high school level, and you would say the advanced would be tertiary level. So basic, intermediary, advanced. Just work with me. I mean, notwithstanding, you do have the prodigies, you know, who are just the unusual ones. And so the basic synopsis of any institution, when you think of all of them, prep or primary, high school, and then university, for example, is moving you from ignorance to knowing. So you're moving from almost illiteracy to literacy. So you're now learning more information into each stage that you go to, and learning how to dissect the information with more wisdom, with more wit, with more vitality and precision. All right? Based on the levels that you're at, so it gets more advanced and it gets more advanced. But remember, your basic rule is to move you from not knowing to knowing, from darkness to light. Let's continue reading. It says, despite clear mandates designed to make education accessible and continuous for all, the ministry has allowed these schools to sidestep their responsibility to nurture the next generation of female leaders. When Eve was taken from the side, some say the rib, you know, some say it's just, you know, from man. It was almost like a duplicate, but a duplicate with a different role. So that was the X chromosome, and the man being the Y chromosome, for example. You know, two leaders, you know, but different roles. It's like the pendulum. You swing here for the woman, you swing there for the man, so to speak. Thereby perpetuating a dangerous elitism that is eroding the foundation of Jamaican education. Had that 18-year-old been related to the who is who, the capitalist, the owners of the means of production, in the words of Karl Marx, she would not have been they wouldn't even think of asking her to leave and not come back to do the second, I was going to say the second run of sixth form, which is really the second run of sixth form. This troubling trend has persisted for decades, and he's saying this now, not me. And I personally witnessed its impact in the late 1980s. I vividly recall a phone call from Pam Harrison, the then principal of Woolmer's High School for Girls, regarding 3 students, twins and another girl, who had been denied entry into the sixth form at Immaculate Conception High School. We'll come back to this school again. These young women had completed their fifth form at Immaculate, with commendable grades, and yet for reasons beyond comprehension, beyond understanding, they were effectively expelled from continuing their education there. Harrison, recognizing their potential, requested my assistance through AQuest, together with WHSG's head of guidance, and counseling. I met with the girls and their parents. Despite their obvious distress, these students were academically sound. Come again. Despite their obvious distress, these students were academically sound, well-rounded individuals. Let me interject here. To survive life, you can't just be solely and wholeheartedly on academia. Those people don't survive life in a full way, in a functional way. Even if you call them nerds and so on, and they have money and all of that, you find that their interpersonal skills are not good, and they sometimes die lonely. They die with a broken heart. Well-rounded individuals involved in extracurricular activities, teaching them life, how to survive life. They met all of AQuest's rigorous standards, and we accepted them into our program. What stood out in this case was the profound compassion shown by the WHSG. I'm not sure what it means. It must be, is it Westwood High? I don't know. Or the WHSG. Must be Westwood High. That's the only thing. I'm assuming it's that school. The school, recognizing the financial strain the families were under, paid the girls AQuest fees, using what they refer to as canteen money funds intended for more practical expenses, but repurposed to secure the girls' futures. The act of generosity ensured that these students were not left behind due to a flawed decision made by the ICHS, which is Immaculate Conception High School. Ultimately, the twins secured scholarships to prestigious American universities. I insisted they attended separate institutions to maximize their individual opportunities. Both returned to Jamaica and became senior public servants. The third girl earned a first-class honors and later became a Rhodes Scholar. Can you imagine a first-class honors on a Rhodes Scholar, and Immaculate threw them out back in the 1980s? The first of 11 AQuest proteges to achieve this honor. Immaculate, your rules were not written in blood. I'm assuming that you didn't sign a deal with the devil, that you only have to stick at this level, and it doesn't matter if it is a technical kind of a subject. If they get anything below 3, although 4 says satisfactory, although they didn't fail, but 4 looks bad. 4 looks like you're done. So I'm saying this because that is how we're going to read it. That is my interpretation of it, because if 4 didn't seem like she was done, why throw her out? Why was she asked not to come to the upper 6? She could be brilliant and not asked and not accepted after she has been through, I'm assuming, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and the first part of 6th form, and because she didn't get enough food and nutrition. Food and nutrition. Food and nutrition. A technical, I call it, subject. Not, you wouldn't call it like an academic kind of a subject. It's like teaching you life skills. Food and nutrition, textiles or clothing and textiles, I don't know what they call it, home economics, those subjects. Art and craft, it's just technical courses. So you wouldn't call those like prerequisite courses for school, for higher learning, but it's good to have these life skills so you can learn how to either sew, to cook, and so forth. And if you go with the bikini, if I were the mother, I would never bring her back. Even if you said, all right, take her. No. I wish a school like Campion would take her in. To be honest, I wish a school like Campion or Wolmer's or Arden. Even my school, my alma mater, Holy Charlotte High School. But I understand because it's, immaculate. But I really wish. You people ought to be ashamed of yourselves. To be honest with you, it's a shame and a disgrace. But you're not going to live and see how she's going to do very, very well. Very, very well. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. follow, and subscribe.